Dementia is a general term for the loss of memory, language, problem solving, and other thinking abilities that are severe enough to interfere with daily life. Gail Shepard is here to provide us with a general overview. And Gail, yes, what a timely subject this is. We hear that term dementia, or a friend of ours has been diagnosed with dementia. And, you know, it's kind of this big catch-all term, and we're going to get into this. But basically, first of all, what is dementia not?
Dementia is not a normal part of aging. We hear a lot of times that people think, oh, as we age, we're just going to get dementia. It is not normal.
So, and we touched on briefly some of the symptoms that someone may be exhibiting, but, you know, tell us then, all right, what is dementia?
What is dementia? It's really an umbrella term for, as you mentioned in the beginning, the multiple cognitive decline, or declines in abilities to think and process properly.
Mm-hmm. And so someone now is kind of having that situation, or they have a loved one in that situation, and it's more than just, oh gosh, I opened the refrigerator door and I don't remember what I was looking for. So, you know, what types of dementia are there?
There are many types of dementia. The most common type of dementia, the one that most people have probably heard of, is Alzheimer's disease. It makes up approximately 70% of dementia diagnoses. Okay. Oftentimes with Alzheimer's disease, we'll look at memory loss. We'll look at inability to process or solve problems that they used to be able to. Next most common type is vascular dementia. We see that a lot with our vascular patients, our patients who may have had strokes, or people who have had significant cardiac issues. We think about cardiac and the vessels, or the buildup in the vessels. The same thing can happen in our brain. So the blood is not getting to those portions of the brain. And then there's frontotemporal dementia. That's the next most common type that affects the front parts of the brain, and that's where our personality and behaviors are. And
so that may be, you know, different symptoms can kind of indicate what part of the body is really kind of being involved in a dementia diagnosis.
Absolutely.
So now you touched on a few of the different types, but can somebody have more than one type at the same time?
Absolutely. We see many patients that have multiple types of dementia, and we call that mixed dementia. And then the diagnosis, it's usually mixed with, we'll say, Alzheimer's disease and vascular disease. We see that combination a lot.
Because certainly, you know, and we were talking earlier about Alzheimer's. That's the other term that we so often hear linked with dementia. So, you know, that can be one type of dementia, but correct. As you mentioned, there are these other types with completely different symptoms involved.
Absolutely. There are very many types. In whole, there's over 100 different types of dementia.
Oh my goodness. Well, and so many times, you know, we think, oh yes, you mentioned it's a normal thing of aging. Gosh, okay, I'm 60, I'm 70, I'm 80, that normally these things are just going to occur, but that isn't necessarily the case.
No, it's not. We talk about brain healthy activities. We see a lot of people who are much younger. We've seen 100-year-olds that are, you know, very keen, but then we've seen people quite young that have.
Because that's what I wanted to know. I mean, is there sort of an age where we need to start being aware of those changes? It isn't just, gosh, I can't remember the name of someone I went to school with, or those kinds of symptoms.
There's one thing with dementia is it does not discriminate on age. It can affect anybody. I personally have taken care of a 30-year-old who had a form of dementia. We see a lot of 50-year-olds within our clinic that have dementia. Most commonly, it's 65 and up that receive a dementia diagnosis, but it really doesn't, it can affect the whole age, yeah.
It can affect someone at any time. And Gail, thank you so much for the brief overview on dementia. If you want to know more about diagnosing dementia, look for Gail's interview on memory disorder clinics. Thanks again.